Hello and welcome to episode 718 of the ChairShot Podcast. We are back once again, joined by my good friend in banter, Paul Griffin. Hello, Paul.
Hello, Joe.
And I'm, of course, Joe, Towny Boy Towner. We've been doing this 718 episodes, but if you're joining us for the first time, maybe you found it on Spotify or on YouTube and you're like, what's this gimmick? You're giving it a go. Well, you're very welcome. Normally we're joined by the third of our trio, Mr. Barry Murphy, but he's on cat sitting duty as the little Elmo is a bit poorly.
Yeah.
So we're going to carry on without him, but we've got plenty to talk about in the interim. We're going to be discussing a little bit of AEW television from the week, leading into a chat about AEW Wrestledream pay-per-view, which was on last night, the 18th of October. And then a bit of life guff. We've got a few of our usual features, including your quiz, your emails, your AEW Fantasy League. And we've got a few reviews from Paul of movies and TV. But how are you doing, Paul?
I'm doing good. This is all a little too formal for my liking, though. This is too well produced, well performed.
I was doing my DJ voice. I was doing really well.
There we go. We're back.
I accidentally turned something off. Hang on.
Yeah.
There we go.
I want to beta test the quiz. I don't know, because I actually couldn't remember in the week whether this was a quiz I had already done. So this might not be a new quiz. Maybe it is. Maybe it's not.
Different quizzes we've done over the years. That could be a quiz in itself. I give you the name of a quiz and you have to tell me the format of the quiz.
I know one thing I have done before is come across an old Word document from 2015 and I've done that as a quiz. So we have literally rerun quizzes before.
Yeah.
This is a new one. Maybe the format might not be new. Maybe it is new.
Certainly the content is original.
It is. So we want to start with the 3-hour block of television from this last week.
Yeah. What did you make of it? Very much, obviously, a go-home show for the pay-per-view. A lot of video package and promo kind of things. I did actually pay attention to this one. If you follow us on Blue Sky, you'll see that I kind of posted thoughts on segment by segment, which I don't normally do, but I wanted to do it because, to be honest, normally by the time we get to Sunday, I've just completely forgotten what happened on Dynamite.
You're taking notes.
Because I'm sort of half paying attention and that. But this time I was like, right, let me actually...
I'm always locked in.
I will lock in, I will analyse it, and I will have some thoughts on it.
Okay.
So I did enjoy... I thought the Tony Storm stat backstage segment, which was kind of opened it, was very good. And then they did this thing where they kind of went straight to the ring to have a little fight afterwards, which was nice. Bit of a change from the predictable format. So that was good. I like the dynamic between these two.
Yeah, I like the Renee saying, you've both agreed to no physical activity during this interview. They must start taking their clothes off for some reason. Renee does as well. And this is enough. And then they do their little interview. I will say, I think Statlander's not quite as natural a promo as Tony is. She's not bad by any means, but it was very line reading almost.
It's still
I didn't think it's too harsh because it was fine. But
no, I don't think there's anyone in the women's division that cuts a promo like Tony does. I just think I can't think of anyone else that is.
I think Willow is good. I think Willow's great.
Willow's good, but
I think Willow's better than that.
Still,
I've her own way of doing it as well.
Yeah, but I just think Tony's on that kind of real top
other level.
Yeah. The only thing that I like their chemistry, but the only thing is because they're both now doing kind of weird kind of characters. There is a bit of a clash when you've got like the alien and the kind of throwback film style. It works when you've got like a straight person, a straight woman to play off the kind of joke. But when you've got two sort of funny characters,
literally the alien.
A bit, yeah.
It's strange that Statlander has reverted to the alien character. I don't recall there being a moment that's kind of triggered that.
That would have been a funny moment if they'd done a Tony Storm-esque storyline where
she got a bonk on the head.
Yeah, bonked on the head and she thinks she's an alien again or something. That would be good. I did like the video package at the pay-per-view, which we'll get to, but...
Oh, very good.
Yeah, very, very good, very good promo. We then had Jack Perry backstage, whittling a bit with his big knife. And then when Luchasaurus wandered in, it did make me think of Steve Irwin, Crocodile Hunter.
Right.
Sort of repackage as like Crocodilesaurus. And
I said when I was watching it, they should rename him the Forager Jack Perry, or yeah, he's not coming off very jungly at the moment. He's a little the what are those YouTube channels that are very hot at the moment? Foraging, almost like
yeah.
People who go, I'm camping in this random wood, and I'm going to make my own knife out of a rock.
What are you supposed to take from that as a gimmick? Like, am I supposed to like the whittling man, or I don't like the whittling man? I don't know. I don't really. It doesn't give me anything like.
He's a weird one. He's a strange one, is Jack Perry, because I do like. I mean, we'll get to the pay-per-view. I thought the match was very good.
Mm-hmm.
And it's funny to have them back and whoa, all that. Then you cut to him backstage. He still has that kind of disingenuous air about him.
Mm-hmm.
As a character, I mean. And except now he whittles spoons out of wood for his YouTube channel. You know, like, I don't know. I'm not sure.
It's a spoon from a bigger spoon.
Yeah. There you go. Anyway, they're back.
And he talked about the Young Bucks, the reason he turned on them, they weren't there when he needed them. I don't know what
vague,
that means, but
vague
kind of
nothingness.
Yeah, kind of silly.
Because I don't remember his last appearance.
No,
he was aligned with them, and then did he just disappear off TV?
Kind of. Wasn't there a match he lost or something, and then he disappeared after that? I don't remember.
Let me check his HajMatch.net historique. 1 second. Jack Perry. Matches. So his last AEW match was losing the TNT title to Daniel Garcia Full Gear last year, and then he didn't wrestle almost 11 months until this Dynamite just last week. So I don't know. I don't remember what the story with Jack Perry was. Obviously, he was the TNT champion, lost that, and then did he just not reappear and none of us noticed?
Yeah, bizarre.
Maybe.
We led into a Demand versus Hurt Syndicate match, which was perfectly all right.
I was bored by their street fight last week, so I wasn't exactly. I know I was probably on an island with that one, but I just wasn't into it at all. And this one didn't even have Ricochet being thrown through a table on it. This was just lads having a match. I will say, to jump ahead, I think the match they had at the pay-per-view was my favorite of the 3 matches they've had. But I think that's because I was so not into these first 2 matches that anything good, maybe I would have been predisposed to like. I mean, this to me was the match you would see closing out hour 1 of a 2015 SmackDown. Like, not exactly what I watch Dynamite for. It was fun. It was. I couldn't tell you a single thing that happened.
No. From there we had the Darby Mox Prison, the Batman inspired.
The Batman. Yeah.
Where Mox, Darby kind of said something interesting about, I agree with what you're trying to do, but you're the problem. Yes. It was like, yes, the Death Riders is a good idea in theory, John. It's just, it's like, okay, interesting.
Interesting that Darby would say, I think every day about joining the Death Riders.
That's a kind of, it's an interesting wrinkle actually to it. Like, it's not like just, I think you're bad, I hate you. It's like, oh no, I have to resist it. It's almost like Luke resisting like the dark side.
Right.
Star Wars.
Sure.
It's like, I'm tempted by it, but I know I shouldn't kind of thing, rather than just bad.
You did kick me down the stairs that one time. I wasn't so fond of that, to be honest.
No, well, I probably like that. He's into that sort of thing.
Oh, yeah, he's a bit of a weirdo.
Yeah, pretty good. And then it was a bit too cinematic for my liking with the whole Pac thing coming in, attacking him. And it was like, well, isn't the whole point of being in there?
Yes. I wouldn't say that the problem was necessarily that it was cinematic. I think the problem was if the idea was to keep them separated, for Pac to just wander into Darby's room, you would presume there would have been some security or, if the idea was to keep them separate. So more so the logic show. I didn't think it was that cinematic, to be honest. I thought, when people say to me cinematic, I'm thinking fucking wacky camera angles that shouldn't be possible. I'm thinking 8K, depth of field. This was just
underneath that
shot.
Had the score.
It's a little bit of a score. Fair enough. A little bit of a score.
I think they were going for the Batman. But yeah, it was good. It was fun.
Yeah. Well, there was a lot of DC references this week. They're of course entering into a deal with DC.
Yeah.
We'll talk more about that on the pre-show for the Pape.
Roderick Strong, Claudio Castagnoli. That's fine. I find these two quite boring.
Yeah. I used to really love Roderick Strong. In his NXT days, I think I might have on here come on and proclaimed that Roderick Strong and Kyle O'Reilly were two of my favorite guys to watch in the world.
Mm-hmm.
Now this was a decade ago. Roderick Strong, I think, is still good with the right opponent, but I think I've mentioned in the past few weeks, I find it very difficult to get excited by a Claudio match. I think Claudio with the right opponent can have a good, exciting match, but this is two guys who are both, to use a lucha term, these are two bases.
Mm-hmm.
And, for instance, either of these having a match with Darby, for example, is going to be a good time.
Yeah.
Them together, it was a little bit dull. It was a little bit dull.
Mm-hmm.
For sure.
From their Don Callis birthday segment, which is kind of funny, but quite... Seeing the only point of it was to put over Okada not wanting to hear from Takeshita, which we didn't mention. We might mention in the news rundown, but obviously Takeshita winning the big one, IWGP World Heavyweight Champion, which I think we can all agree is the correct decision.
It is. It's interesting that in Japan there seems to be a little bit of pushback to it. When
they're not happy.
I guess because he's a bit of an outsider, but from an outsider perspective, such as we are, he's so obviously the best guy there.
I know. Maybe it's that thing of I don't know if there's an equivalent for in the American scene of how you put it, but he's very much seen as an
American guy.
Is he not even American? I'm thinking more like a different. It's the DDT versus New Japan thing. He's seen as a WWE guy coming into AEW and winning the belt.
Yeah,
it's like if I don't know, Seth Rollins was in AEW and won the world title.
Maybe not so much Seth Rollins. Maybe Joe Hendry.
Fucking Joe Hendry winning the AEW. Now you're really taking the piss.
Well, that's what I mean. DDT to New Japan. I would say.
To be fair, you're right. If Joe Hendry won the AEW world title, I would be pissed. But he's also shit. So, but it was Okada, turning the TV off, and it's quite funny. But yeah,
I pressed the wrong button. I'm so sorry. He didn't cry this time. To be fair to him, fake cry. Anyway, more tease of that, which we obviously saw in the preview.
That led into Callis family versus Kenny Omega and the Jurassic Express, which was good. I enjoyed the Kenny Mark Davis stretch of it. Overall, quite good match, and then a lot of post-match business with the Bucks coming out and a bit of a back and forth there. It's fine.
Very good. I like this a lot.
My match of the show, Jamie Hayter versus Sky Blue.
Really?
This was really good. Kind of over-delivered. I was expecting this was kind of the penultimate segment of Dynamite, and I was like, this is probably going to be a bit of a slot. But I thought it was really good. And I like Jamie Hayter kind of taking off her handkerchief around the neck. Almost like her angle pulling down the straps. It's right. It's time for handkerchief to come off.
Yeah. I'm going to kill this bitch.
She looked really good. Mercedes Moné promo. Same promo she's done every other episode of television she's been on. Not really much to say other than the catchphrases and the you know, I'm gonna wrestle some random woman from around the world. Like I don't know. I'm a bit over it now. I think something needs to happen here.
Yes.
Not necessarily she losing the belts, but like some kind of challenge, some kind of.
You're right. That we've been doing the Mercedes wins a load of belts thing for months now, and prior to that, Mercedes just beating everybody for the TBS belts. Yeah, things have a shelf life, and maybe it's time for something else to happen. I mean, I think that is one of the drawbacks of AEW in the sense of when people hold the title belts for a very, very long time. Tony's been the world champion for so long. Hangman, okay, not quite yet, but prior to him, Moxley having the title for a very, very long time. It's after you've done 6 months of the same thing, it does start to feel a bit stale.
Yeah, it's like the matches have even been that good. The last she has decent matches, but there hasn't been a real banger. You know what I mean?
I did really like her match at WrestleDream. I did really like it.
I thought it was okay. We'll get to that.
I was really into it. I thought it was great.
I don't like to see.
I wasn't so into her hair, her wig she had on at WrestleDream.
The bangs.
It was a wig that on RuPaul's Drag Race they would describe as thirsty. It's a thirsty wig, frazzled and dry looking.
Thirsty wig. Sounds like an Irish pub. Where are we? Yeah. So I would like her to maybe like come up against someone, because she does the same kind of, often quite the same sort of style, right? It's like very technical sort of wrestling. I'd love her to come up against someone who's very like hardcore women's wrestler. Come up with someone with a very different style, and she's like, "Oh shit,
right.
I can't overcome this. I'm not a hardcore wrestler." I think that would be an interesting, like, more so than her being not good enough. It's like, oh, she's met her match in terms of like style. Yeah. And maybe that's something to overcome. But yeah, then the main event was the trios and the ops retained. Yeah, already.
Big old Roosh dislocating his elbow in this one, apparently.
Oh, God.
Popping it back in and still taking... did he take a clothesline over the top rope at the end of the show?
Fair play to the lad.
What a tough boy.
I did not watch Collision. I switched off after the 2 hour mark. Was there anything worth?
Not really. Not really. Main event was fun. It was Don Callis' family against Mark Briscoe and Bro Tito. It was a good fun one. Megan Bay and Harley Cameron. I mean, there's a funny line when Megan Bay and FTR were out there, and Harley Cameron said, I know what FTR stands for. Feel the wrath, which I thought was funny. And then Death Riders against Kyle O'Reilly and Orange Cassidy, it's fine. It was that thing they do when they have a 3 hour block, but they do 2 hours of Dynamite, and then they say, well, that's the end of the A show. Now we do an hour of the rest. Rather than it being... I mean, it's interesting because they don't promote it as a 3 hour Dynamite, right? It is Dynamite followed by Collision. So, I mean, even structurally, they stick to
we've got to this, because really Collision was a par with Dynamite when it launched. I know it was centered around Punk.
Yeah.
But what, why are they not making any effort with Collision?
Even post-Punk, there was a period where Collision was the, like... Dynamite was maybe the more storyline heavy, but Collision you would get some fucking really great matches.
Yeah.
So why else since we've had a really great Collision match, eh? Yeah. I mean, Dynamite, we talked about last week's Dynamite had 5 matches that were 4-star plus on the Meltzer scale. I mean, and you have enough guys. I mean, there's guys, we talked about Roosh and the like, who are capable of having a really good match, but it does seem like Collision does get, I mean, granted, you have a lot of FTR matches on Collision, which typically are very good. We had the one a few weeks ago with Billington and Priest, which is really great. But well, yeah, it would be nice for even there was a period where the TNT title seemed to be more heavily Collision focused. It would be nice to have 1 or 2 of the belts. Like, it's hard to fit every belt on every week. So maybe you could have the TNT title and the trios titles more often on Collision or the women's tag once they get introduced. Something like that to make the show. I mean, you talk about the idea of not having a hard brand split, but even stylistically, you could have a brand split in the sense of, if you're interested in the trios matches, you'll get a lot of them. In Collision, the belts will be more often defended over there. TNT title the same. Something like that could at least, you say, okay, I know what I get when I tune into a Collision, as opposed to the feeling we're getting from the last couple of weeks, which is subpar Dynamite.
Not even subpar Rampage for me at this point.
Well, let's not go crazy here. Rampage. Rampage, those last few weeks you were having Cuckoo Charlie against Bozo Boris in the main event.
Yeah.
That's not hyperbole here.
Anyway, let's get into the pay-per-view.
Anyway, then we had Wrestledream, which I think I saw your Blue Sky. What do you call a Blue Sky post? A blooper. I saw your blooper about the paper. I think I'm a little bit higher on it than you. I thought this was a very strong show. I didn't watch it live, which does hurt, I think. When you're watching it the next day, you lose a bit of the kind of excitement. You do. I did watch it live. I was up one of those crazies up until the hours. I couldn't do it. Especially with this card. Like, if it had been a better card, maybe I would have. Sure. I didn't want to, but I didn't see the pre-show. Anything? Well, pre-show had some interesting stuff on it to cover. We started with Death Riders versus Conglomos. The Conglomos. Yeah. Conglomos and Death Riders. Yeah. Pac, who's now reverted. He's not dressed as Juice Robinson anymore. What's he got on? He's got the old gear on, but no knee pads. Yes. He got the old gear, but no knee pads. Thank you. He does not look like old Juicy Boy Robinson anymore. Maybe Tony Storm had a word and say, look, you're stealing the gimmick, brother Pac. And Tony Storm's probably got more sway these days than Pac does. So that was that. This was, again, a fun one. Very interesting, though, right? It was that the pre-show was an hour long. And with the little promo video and the entrances and this match being as long as it was 25 past the hour when this match concluded, which meant there was 35 minutes left with 3 matches still to go. So you'll see, if you look at the timestamps, Eddie Kingston and Hook's match, which was the second match, went 3 minutes. So they were speeding through them. It was this was very good. This would have not been out of place on the show itself. It was one of those party, 8-man matches. Yeah. Fun stuff with Ishii and their Pac and Orange Cassidy, of course, continuing their feud somewhat. All very good. I just wanted to touch on, before we get to the Eddie Kingston Hook match, whether it was on Dynamite or Collision, I don't recall exactly. But they had a quick, or maybe it was on the start of the tailgate show, man. I don't remember. They had a quick backstage promo with Eddie Kingston and Hook. And it was one of the worst things I've ever seen. Eddie Kingston, Eddie Kingston does his thing, which is very charming in a way, likable, where he's like, hey, cameraman, I'm not prepared for this promo, so I'm just saying what's off the top of my head. Blah, 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 blah. Yeah. Like he's so informal about it. Here it came off like he didn't know what he was talking about. And he was like really legitimately unprepared. And he was passing to Hook. And Hook, I don't know if he was stoned out of his mind or what, but he just had nothing to say. So he'd be like, hey, partner, we got that match on Saturday. What's it called? The show, the show. And he passed to Hook, and Hook's just, oh yeah, the Eddie Kingston. Yeah, tailgate brawl, tailgate show. Yeah, that's the one. We're having a match, and yeah. Chose to Hook again. But awful stuff. This Kingston Hook thing is death for both of them. It's certainly not doing Eddie Kingston any favors. And Hook being a limpet to stick to Eddie Kingston is not really benefiting Hook either. Number one, because his own, I don't know what Hook's character is anymore, like stoned bozo, I guess is the character. He doesn't come off, he's like totally lost that aura of mysterious, dangerous assassin. Like if you would ask me 2-3 years ago, what is Hook's character? Mysterious, dangerous assassin. They've been shooter.
Yeah, okay.
Even when he was doing the whole like he eats crisps gimmick, which I don't never understood. But like even that didn't like
that's my gimmick. That's my
even that didn't
Jones brother.
Hey, we get a red flavor in there, brother. Even that didn't really undermine it. But now he's just an idiot, just a clown, a goof. Anyway, they had a match here with the frat house. The frat house. No Preston fans to be seen. Interestingly, they of course slaughtered them in a matter of moments. Eddie Kingston still got a huge pop when he came on. I will say the crowd for the show were great.
Really good crowd.
Great crowd.
St. Louis.
Kingston, big old popo, and it did give you that sense briefly of the good old days. Eddie Kingston coming out. Eddie Kingston's a star. Yeah. But he's got this anchor attached to his leg currently.
But even, hang on. The match with Big Bill.
Wasn't great.
And then the second match was before he got together with Hook. Who was that against? On Collision, he had a match.
Right.
It was bad. I don't think the Hook's the whole problem here. Eddie coming back has not been on his game. He had a long layoff.
Granted.
And he's come back. He's maybe a little bit. He's not match fit. That's what I'm seeing at the moment.
Oh, well, I'm sure that's what the whole idea of getting with a tag team initially. Hook's not doing anything. Like I see the logic of putting it
he's going to tag team with someone who's on fire, so that they can carry him while he gets back to.
Well, let me throw it at you. Who would you have paired him with if not Hook?
Mark Briscoe.
Briscoe would make sense.
Nah, but then he can't tag. He doesn't want to tag with anyone, does he?
Well, Briscoe has his reasons for not doing that.
That would be a good combo, or even as a trio. I don't know. Hook's just on a trio. We could have them, Briscoe and Kingston and someone else as like a trio.
Maybe.
It's possible. But I don't know.
We had Harley and Willow against Megan Bay and Penelope Ford. So on the DC tilt, Penelope Ford and Megan Bain came out as Poison Ivy and Harley Quinn.
Oh, okay.
And I thought, okay, you're going to get Harley Cameron then as Catwoman. She does the cat thing. And you'll get Willow as Nightwing, maybe, because Nightingale. They just came out in their normal gear. I was wondering, is this going to be like a DC tie-in thing? The fact that the two of these are as DC characters? Nah. Harley and Willow did get the win here. Willow with the powerbomb on Ford. This was good stuff.
Yeah.
Setting up. So I expect at least one of these teams will be involved in the tag team tournament, which will be. We got our brackets on Dynamite, by the way.
Yes. What's that?
So we'll see how that goes. And this is a first, and especially something for us to consider. I've already made up my mind, by the way. And I would expect to know where you're going to lean on this.
I think we know where we're going.
But FTR and Jet Speed started on the pre-show and concluded on the pay-per-view, which immediately had me scrambling for, well, hang on, how does this affect their damn fantasy points? Because our sources of truth still listed as a pre-show match, but there's no conclusion on the pre-show. It was on the pay-per-view.
That's the
actual
thing.
decision. The decision was rendered.
They won on the pay-per-view.
On the pay-per-view. They won on the pay-per-view. That is inarguable. So I have given FTR the pay-per-view bonus.
Well, I think that's fair. I think that's fair. I did think that when I was watching it. Also, I didn't know how long the match was, but it seems like most of the match was actually on the pay-per-view as well.
Because
it says 13 minutes. It was...
As I mentioned, the first match on the pre-show went very long. So these guys were coming out for their match with like 6 minutes to go.
Right.
And you're like, did they mess something up here? This match is going to go like 3 minutes. But they ran into the pay-per-view, which I thought was really cool and great. And I saw some people on Twitter crying their little eyes out. I didn't want to see this match, and now you're making me see it. Oh my God. Oh,
What?
fucking yeah. Well, so the usual brainless twerps complain about it. I mean, this was I thought a very clever way for anyone who was watching. First of all, let me caveat this by saying I don't think there's that many people who are watching the pre-show who haven't bought the pay-per-view. You see by the AEW numbers, the people who buy the pay-per-views, I believe, are pretty regularly buying pay-per-views. But if you had someone who was watching this and was into it, and the match doesn't gotta get the pay-per-view on, then I can watch the rest of the match and see the rest of the show. I thought it was clever. Match itself was very good, as you'd expect from FTR. Got a little sneaky win there as well at the end.
Yeah, I really liked it. I really liked that match. Having not seen the first few minutes.
FTR always put on bangers. I saw someone as well. Oh, these people make me so fucking angry. Someone going, they did a pile driver 1 minute into the pay-per-view. It's like, okay, number one, the match had been on for about 10 minutes already. Number two, even if it hadn't been, it's like watching a football match and they score a goal in the first minute. That's fucking exciting. Like, sorry, that's not. Sorry, don't score until the 32nd.
Well, technically, they should.
They did a cool move 1 minute into the match. I gotta get on my Twitter and fucking complain about it.
Yeah, and they keep playing when Brock Lesnar immediately comes out and does the F5.
No, that's class. That's class.
That's good because he's
class with that.
I love Brock Lesnar in it, and I don't go on the internet, so I'm fine. I love Brock Lesnar.
Yeah.
So that was a very good start to the pay-per-view.
Also, by the way, I'm aware of the irony of us being nerds complaining about this on a podcast before anybody points it out.
Yeah, but we're complaining about the
we're
right
doing
stuff.
nerd voices and complaining that nerds are being nerdy.
We like the good stuff, and we complain about the right stuff.
Yeah.
We then got an introduction of Luther's widow, who is apparently still alive. Blimey, good luck to her. She was good though. She was good on the mic. Sometimes you get these family members. They got no riz. They got no promo skills. She was pretty good. She knows you got to go out there and
worked crowd.
Put the town over. Put yourself over. So she
says, "I hope Darby kills that fucker Moxley in the main." That's what she said. Very good. I tell you, my first thought when she was there being interviewed, I was like, I hope Moxley isn't sticking a spike through Darby's head in the main event.
I think he meant through her head. Moxley knock her out.
My God.
Anything's possible. And say, Darby, you gotta quit or I'm gonna.
She might be one of those wrestling grannies who's like, lay it in, brother. Do you know what I mean? If you don't hit me hard, I'm not selling. Didn't come to it, actually.
She's from the hooker days, the shooter days.
Yeah.
So the first match proper for the pay-per-view was Jamie Hayter versus Tekla.
Very good. Very good.
Jamie Hayter won. Yes. Very good. I don't know if I even liked it as much as the Sky Blue match, though. I don't know what it was about that match. I just really liked that. Yeah. I think maybe I was just expecting a bit more, like even more kind of hard-hitting, like a Queen Aminata Tekla kind of match. Just really laid it in. But it was very good.
There were a handful of spots where they were a little catching up with themselves. But
yes.
I thought it was very, very good. I do like Hayter a lot. Is there part of me that still thinks like, let's get rid of the like Austin Powers, fucking Titantron, and let's go back to the good old days. Maybe a little bit. I don't mind that.
That is an AEW thing of like, Tony likes to let them express themselves and choose their characters and stuff. And she's obviously very into that kind of 60s look and that culture. But I totally agree. It doesn't fit her character at all. Like Hayter hits harder because you're doing the kind of pastel 1960s kind of Scooby-Doo kind of look. That doesn't really work. She was at her best when she was kind of like early Hayter and she was just like, I'll punch your face.
Maybe that's just pining for the good old days, but
I think
that's a nitpick. Granted, that's a nitpick. Granted,
she's still very good.
Tekla's great. Tekla's
wonderful.
They're over chopping in front of old Mrs. Tez over there. Great stuff. And Hayter got the win, which I was surprised by as well. I thought leading into Blood and Guts, They might have tried to keep Triangle of Madness strong, especially the leader.
Still got, 3-4 weeks to go. So
Yes.
possibly plenty of heel beatdowns on Collision.
I would
in
say.
Sydney Hater's future.
We're still unclear on who exactly is going to be in that match as well.
And given you got the tag title tournament as well, that's a bit of a distraction from.
Yeah,
who's
I mean,
gonna
you
wanna
would
be in
think
that
Triangle of Madness and maybe Megan Bain and
Penelope Ford.
Penelope. If they're doing, it depends if they do 4 and 4 or 5 and 5. But yeah. And then you still only really have Aminata and Hater on the face side. Who else do you stick in there?
Yes, I can't think of anyone else who's kind of. Well, I guess you have who is in the thing? Is it? Oh, Harley Cameron and Willow.
Possibly.
And then one other
staff.
Yeah. We then had the $500,000 cash prize tag team match: Jurassic Express versus the Young Bucks.
Yes.
We got more of the kind of Young Bucks being broke thing. I did find this variation of it funny though, even though I'm kind of sick of it overall.
ATM,
the blank check,
no
kind of thing was reference good, and the fans kind of like waving the dollar bills and stuff was kind of funny. So I would rather they kind of got past this, but it was okay. It's kind of funny.
They did not win the money.
They did not. They're still broke Bucks. Yeah, kind of. Well, it's a surprise. It's a surprise in as much as I think the Bucks should be winning and getting back to tag title contention rather than this kind of stuff. But I guess you don't want to beat Jurassic Express.
No,
the first
having them
match
just
back. Yeah,
reform. Yeah, I mean, I thought this was great. I thought this was tough.
It was a very good. It was a classic kind of Young Bucks match. They are really so good. I thought Jack Perry looked pretty good. Like I didn't.
I think it's a reminder that Jurassic Express are better.
They're a very good team.
Maybe gave them credit
very good team together. And when Jack Perry doesn't have to carry like half the match, I think he's good. when he's carrying a quarter of the match, he's pretty good. Yeah, interesting. I'm surprised they did a rematch. Maybe a ladder match. Full Gear, maybe. Like number one contenders or something. Yeah, pretty good.
I mean, we had a post match where Don Callis' family came out and were attacking Jurassic Express, and then Kenny came out, and there was a moment of, and I was expecting, are they going to turn the Young Bucks here and have the Young Bucks?
Yeah.
Is Kenny going to go in, get beaten down as well, and the Young Bucks come in for the save or something? They didn't go that way, but there was like, I wouldn't quite call it a tease, but there was a little visual planted there of something.
Yeah.
And then Young Bucks apparently were saying, I don't know if it was last night or today, hey, of course we're going to do eventually, before we hang up the old boot skis, we got to do another reunion. I mean,
I think so. Not too soon. I would rather they held off on that, but I could see it working. But you need to give it a bit of time because they've been feuding and they've just had another version of the Elite. You're like, going back to that wouldn't make sense. But I think maybe like, I don't know, end of next year, something happens, Young Bucks turn face, you have a little Elite reunion.
Yeah. It's interesting because the Young Bucks have been heels for so long now. I almost don't remember what a Young Buck face team would look like.
But they've been heels for most of the regular run now.
I know when Kenny and the Young Bucks came back and won the trios, they were baby faces right before they got stripped and were all of that.
Okay.
We will see in any case.
Led us into the Hurt Syndicate versus the Demand, the kind of blow-off match for this feud, which was won by the Hurt Syndicate. This was also number one contendership for the trios. So interesting. Yeah, again, I thought this was very, very solid, but I couldn't have really told you the difference between this and the TV matches they had. I know you weren't a big fan of both of those, but to me, it was very solid, but that was about it. 7 out of 10 type of thing.
I think this had that little bit extra craziness, and I mean, that's funny to say, even granted that one of the matches was a street fight, but I don't know, Shelton Benjamin had that little sparkle in his eye here.
Yeah.
where he said, right, we're doing fucking crazy flips and stuff, which, I mean, Shelton in his 50s is still have that is crazy. God love MVP, but I was thinking this might be the match where we get a debut of somebody to, or debut or a, not a turn or whatever, but somebody join. I think they need somebody to join the group so the MVP doesn't have to be in the ring, as unfair as that might be to say. I mean,
yeah. Do you think maybe they lose the trios match, and then he's like, right, we need someone else. Maybe that's the case.
Does he eat?
I kind of feel like they're going to win it though. My thought is they're going to win the belts. I
think so as well. But
it would make more sense if it was like he takes the pin and they're like,
we need to recruit.
They're kind of almost like, hey, you need to find a replacement or else, but not quite like that. But like,
yeah, that'd be. I think an interesting story as well is if they're kind of. I don't recall in the previous match who's being pinned necessarily, but if MVP would cost them in a way to lose a few matches, and they almost have to police themselves from within and say, look, we've been losing matches lately, and you've been kind of the reason why. So we would like, let's look at getting somebody in so that you can kind of take a back seat, so to speak.
Yeah.
But no, I thought this was the one where this kind of clicked for me more so than the other ones.
Mm-hmm.
As I say, a little bit more wild spots without it just being fucking guy goes through a table, trash can, yada yada yada. This was an exciting match, so I was into it.
We then went into Kyle Fletcher versus Mark Briscoe. I think this was the point in the pay-per-view I really started to flag, if I'm right, in all honesty, because these next few matches on, they all seemed good, but I just could not get into them.
Okay.
And I think this is where you get into too many matches on AEW pay-per-views, or too many kind of similar kind of matches, where it's just a sort of it's a good match.
You didn't watch the pre-show, right? You only watched
I didn't watch the pre-show, yeah, but even with that.
So this would have been the fourth full match on the show. Fifth if you include the tag match.
Yeah, and I think it comes back. This is obviously a good match, but why? We've kind of had Mark Briscoe, Kyle Fletcher quite a few times now, and I'm like, what?
Yeah. Well, here's the thing as well, is it wasn't my criticism, but I know somebody who I was speaking to about the 3-hour Dynamite Collision, which is that the TV, especially a 3-hour block, can also be quite match heavy, which is AEW style. But when you've got 3 hours of matches to lead into a pay-per-view, which will be 4 to 5 hours of matches, you can get bogged down a little bit with just watching constant matches. And that maybe a go-home Dynamite can be a little more, I don't want it to be like Raw, but it can be maybe a little less match heavy, granted that, or given that you're going to have a pay-per-view which will be 13 matches back to back,
Yeah.
So I can see that point of view. I mean, Fletcher Briscoe, I was very excited for, because I think these guys are having banger years, and I very much enjoyed the match. I did think that Briscoe was going to win, though. I just had in my head that like Fletcher has won the TNT title as part of his ascendancy to the top of the card, right?
Yeah.
I feel like in the short time he's had the belt, I feel like he's almost already outgrown it.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think he has. And that's the problem of like what upward potential is there right now with how many kind of people are above him in the card.
Yes. And I thought as well, the whole storyline has been, even with MJF involved, Briscoe can't win the big one. You don't win the big one. And this was just, he didn't win the big one. So, I don't know whether that makes him even more sympathetic, or is there a line where you eventually reach where you go, okay, this guy isn't worth putting your stock into, because he ultimately doesn't win the big one. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I thought this would have been. I mean, and this was a pay-per-view where we didn't have any title changes, or you know, this. I think this would have been the one where I would have maybe had Briscoe win.
Yeah, yeah, it was good. It was a good match. Fletcher wins. Let's see where he goes from here. He could do with a bit more competition, I think. He's not had someone you really believe. Well, you thought Briscoe was going to win. I don't think he's had like a really believable challenger. You know what I mean? Like someone who could really think, oh.
Who would you put him against?
Well, I don't know if there is
Say Silver
that's the problem.
Right.
Like, you could go back to Darby, but I don't really want Darby to go back to the TNT title because that feels like a demotion.
Darby just won the main event of the pay-per-view.
Yeah. Like, but then you looking up and down this card, like who really. There weren't many kind of men's singles matches actually. That was one of 3 on all of it. There's a lot of people you kind of think they kind of
ironically if he had been back early and hit the ground running, I think you could have made a good Eddie Kingston argument.
Yeah.
But currently, I don't think so necessarily.
Eddie would have been a good one. I don't see any baby faces that are really kind of ascending. You know what I mean? It's just kind of anyway. Following that, we had Statlander, Tony Storm, which is very good. Very well. We have 3 different video packages to introduce the match, which were good, to be fair. But this was very, very good. Kind of a storyline of Tony kind of losing her mojo, kind of thing.
Yes.
But very good match.
I was super into this. I thought, I mean, as for being critical about the promo from the TV, I mean, this is where these two shine. Like just get them in the ring and they'll put out a banger, and they did. The finish was a little overwrought. You know, I mean, I don't mind when you do you gotta kill me to take the title off me. It was almost a spin on the Darby Moxley thing where Tony's not going to submit, you know?
Yeah.
But the way it was carried out was a little, again, hesitate to say, a little like bloodliney. But there's, you know, and there was also some in the main event where, you know, I don't necessarily love the WWE style of the mid-match soliloquy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's maybe a tiny smidge of that here, but I mean, I think you can have your commentator sell that rather than the wrestlers in the ring. Where she could have Tony in the submission for a crazy, a Bret Hart Backlund amount of time, and the commentators can be saying she's not going to tap. She won't tap. And then Statlander can get frustrated with that and pivot to hitting her with the big move and get the pin. And the commentators can say, look, number one, the toughness of Toni Storm. She wouldn't submit even though she was in an unavoidable position, an inescapable position. But also then the nous of Statlander realize that and pivot to a different strategy and get the win. So you can kind of elevate both in doing that. I don't need Tony going, Chris, you bitch. You never. Guys, you gotta kill me. You know, a little bit cheesy. I thought the match itself was great otherwise. I mean,
yeah, very, very good. That made it into another women's match.
Yeah, Mercedes came out then during Statlander's little celebration.
And she told Stat, get out of my ring. And Stat did get out the ring, which I didn't quite like that.
She did come back at the end, though.
She came back, but I don't know. Made Stat look a little bit lower on the totem pole. But yeah, Mercedes and her surprise not surprise opponent, but open challenge opponent was Nina.
Yeah, which
apparently is the Ring of Honor Women's World
Interim
Ring of Honor Women's World Television Champion.
Not even the World Champion, the TV Champion.
Not even the World Champion, and not even the permanent Television Champion. The Interim Ring of Honor World Television Champion.
Yeah, it was a little bit.
That's a belt that doesn't need to exist. Pop that in. Why they need a television championship in a promotion where there's
no
two women, Billy Starks and Athena, and the women
also they're on a DVD.
Oh my god!
We got to put intro on the TV champion.
Should be the streaming championship.
But Mercedes, I think now she can be 11 belt Monet with an asterisk that this is not a real belt that she has.
None of them are.
Yeah, but this was especially.
It's like the Ultimo Dragon thing. Like they've got all these like tin pot belts.
WWF light heavyweight, I think was in there.
Absolutely.
So going into this, I thought, well, this belt's a big pile of shite. This is a fake belt. So again, I kind of worked myself into believing that Mina was going to win this, which obviously improved my enjoyment of the match, because I kind of beat on some of the more false finishes. Because I was just thinking, okay, they've teased Mercedes' stat at the beginning of the match. This is a mid-card women's belt. I think Mercedes holding it for so long has kind of almost missed the point of it. And so I thought Mina is a good hand to come in. Mercedes can slip on a banana peel. Maybe Stack comes back out during the match and Mercedes gets flustered or whatever. And then Mina is someone you can have be the TBS champion, and she can have, to our point, collision matches with your slightly lower card women, right?
Yeah.
Your Sky Blues of the world. To me, that's what the TBS title should be. And kind of, even though AEW's women's division is very strong at the moment, I feel like those women who aren't quite at the top suffer in that they have nothing to fight for. You know? Mercedes and essentially Mercedes and Statlander now are world champion 1A and 1B, as opposed to there being a world champion and there's no equivalent of the Intercontinental title, which is what the TBS title really ought to be. So I'm thinking, okay, eventually you got to get that belt off Mercedes and onto someone who is lower down the ladder than she is, so that the belt can kind of become what it really ought to be in the first place. And I thought Mina is like the perfect. Honestly, before I heard that it was a champion versus champion match, I missed that originally. I had thought, okay, it's just a mystery opponent. I thought Sheila might have been who it ended up being. And again, I thought Sheila, like, perfect person to beat her for the belt. And I thought, just time-wise and everything, I thought, okay, Mercedes beat Cargill's record as long as TBS champion. She's got the fucking 100 belts. Okay, grand. I'm thinking, okay, what more is there to do with this? Okay, let's eventually, if we're going to go to the direction of Mercedes and Statlander as they were teasing at the start of the match, let's fucking get the belt off Mercedes. Does this mean it could do it? Mercedes then just beats her again.
I don't see Mercedes losing anytime soon.
But it's like the belt. There's no point to her have the belt in that case.
Yeah, I agree. But it's similar to the Kyle Fletcher thing I was saying, like, who, if you don't have any good, credible challengers, and to be honest, Hangman as well, we get to the main event, it's another problem. If you don't have a credible challenger, then that's where for me, the matches kind of fall a bit flat. Even if they're exciting matches, it's like, well, I know none of them are going to win.
I mean, but there's two different categories, right? There's exciting challenger for Fletcher or Mercedes or Hangman to successfully defend against. And there's exciting challenger to actually beat them. So again, Briscoe, if you're going in with the mindset of, well, Briscoe's going to beat, or Fletcher's going to beat Briscoe, Mercedes is going to beat Mina, Hangman's going to beat Joe, and all three of them on the same show, and then that does happen, then yeah, I can definitely see how you can come out of that thinking, well, that was a bit of a limp fish of a show, a wet, cold, dead fish of a show. But if one of those were to win the belt, I think there's big upside to it in terms of, one, it being an upset, bit of credibility to whoever beats them. I don't think, certainly in the case of Fletcher and Mercedes, where I think that both of them are above the station of the belt anyway, I don't think they necessarily needed to lose to somebody who is up their level.
Yeah.
I think if Fletcher were beaten by Briscoe here, I think Briscoe is a really good level TNT champion. I don't think Fletcher suffers for losing to Briscoe. And Fletcher can kind of move up and start feuding with people more of a, Swerve Strickland. I know Swerve Strickland's injured now, but of a Swerve Strickland level
opponent, Yeah.
I think him being the TNT champion kind of keeps him down here a little bit.
It's interesting that the ops. We'll get to the next match. Next match was a tag team. It's actually a World Tag Team Championship.
Mama.
Very, very, very good.
This is the best match on the show.
Longest match of the night, actually,
and the best.
But very good. Enjoying Bandito and Brody King. Okada and Takeshita. Great as a tag team because obviously they don't have like that tag team chemistry, but they're also, that's the point. So it works perfectly. They're just two like really good wrestlers doing their own wrestling without trying to be a tag team.
Yeah.
It's just perfect. And we did get the miscommunication of Okada.
Oh,
like if he'd even had a bit more time to stop. You know what I mean?
Like, just did it anyway.
I just said, oh no, did it anyway. But then afterwards, the big smile.
Big smile.
And also giving him the finger, like no one being able to see. Like he's a school kid behind the desk going, to the teacher.
There was one that was so funny even earlier where he was doing the finger to nobody and Takeshita kind of came up beside him and he just kept doing it. And Takeshita was like, is that for me? And Okada, well, you know. Great stuff. And I mean, it was funny, but it never kind of went into silly comedy per se.
No.
You still get the vibe, and this is what I love about this, is that Okada and Takeshita are these fucking mega stars who are both class and just don't get on, you know?
Yeah.
Okada, of course, eating the pin here, which will lead into a match that I'm very much looking forward to on Wednesday, Bandito against Okada, Dynamite. But I mean, Brodita are class as well.
Yeah.
Bandito in particular, who's just on a hell of a run. But Brody, of course, as well. I mean, this was the match that I think is going to score the big 5 plus potentially,
probably.
Which I don't mind because I got 3 of those guys on my team, so it's okay with me. And yeah, I mean, there was again part of me this was I think the one match where I was really uncertain. I was like, do you just have Okada and Takeshita like win the tag team titles?
Yes. See, this is a match where they were credible potential winners. Like if you had told me they were going to win, I said, yeah.
Even temporary, and they can win it back to Brodita in a month's time.
To the point where, they don't get along and there's miscommunication. But then by winning it almost makes it even funnier that they're the champions because they still don't get along, but they actually got to keep tagging. So I could have seen them winning, but I'm kind of glad. I think Brodita are doing really good, so I don't have a problem with them retaining the belts.
You obviously couldn't have Takeshita lose here in his first match since winning the IWGP championship. So
go down well with the Puro heads on Reddit.
No, I did love it being because I mean you knew there was going to be some sort of they would bonk heads and and one of them would lose. I did love as you said, that it was Okada drilling Takeshita with a rainmaker and then going, I'm so sorry, and then himself being beaten.
Yeah,
was very
good. Good finish.
I mean, the prediction has to be that Okada Takeshita will be the final of the C2.
Yes, absolutely.
Where I think we're going.
Yes. And Takeshita wins is mine.
And Takeshita has, I mean, they're not going to beat Takeshita.
He's not going to lose 5 days before people. He's not going to lose to Okada. So, and I think that would be great. I think that could be the turning point of him leaving the Callis family.
I think Takeshita as I mean, you were talking earlier that we don't have the baby face in that little spot. I think that's what he will be.
Yeah, let's find him at the end of the year. Maybe then he drops the belt at Wrestle Kingdom and then he's back AEW. He's gunning for the world title. Like he should be gunning for the world title. He is a world champion. He's the IWGP world champion.
Yeah.
Speaking of world champions, we had the Dynamite main event, Hangman Adam Page versus Samoa Joe for the AEW World Championship. I think there's a match when Hangman has to 3 or 4 different times G up the crowd to get behind him. You kind of know the match isn't really clicking on all cylinders. Is that fair to say?
Yeah, I think that's partially because of the build, as we discussed. Very abrupt. I think they did as good a job as they realistically could leading up to it. But then the irony is they did a turn after the match that if they had just done fucking 4 weeks ago, that would have had some urgency. So I guess they're doing a rematch.
I feel like they can do the rematch. And I'm actually I'm more interested in the rematch. I'm more interested in the rematch than I was in this. Yeah. It was a fine match, but not. I don't know. This is your semi-main event of a pay-per-view, and their pay-per-views are very good. It wasn't like the Kyle Fletcher match where it was so good. It was like, oh, okay, fair fucks.
Well, we love Samoa Joe, but Joe is not on. He's on the comeback
in the ascendancy. Yeah.
Well, I mean, in terms of his career.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
If you want someone to come in and put on an absolute world title banger, Samoa Joe can to an extent, but this isn't Samoa Joe of TNA or realistically anymore.
No. So we did. So was the Iron Man one with multiple.
Three
shots, box shots. And then the heel turn afterwards, which I was going to mention earlier because it feels like now we've got another 3 heels. Because I was gonna suggest Hobbs to be a good challenger for Fletcher, maybe. Someone who would be really over. He's a big guy. He's someone who can take on Fletcher, but he's now a heel. So I'm kind of looking at like the singles babyface roster here, and it's looking pretty thin. It's hanging.
Let's jump over to the fantasy standings and see, based on points accrued, who are the top baby faces who would fit that bracket. So we've got Hangman Page, obviously is the world champion. Fletcher is TNT champion. Hobbs is a heel. Moxley is a heel. Okada is a heel. Ospreay is injured. Joe is a heel. Takeshita is a heel. Bandito is a babyface, but is tag team champion. Lashley is a question mark. Is he a babyface? Is he a heel? I don't know. Brody King tag. And also going for trios titles. FTR heels. Benjamin is question mark. Shibata is a heel. Ricochet is a heel. Swerve Strickland's injured. Kenny Omega is the first name you come to, who's kind of a singles, but it would be believable in that spot. Hologram's injured. Castagnoli is a heel. Briscoe, who we've talked about. Adam Cole is injured. Garcia's a heel. Kyle O'Reilly is not quite up there. Moon is a heel. Mike Bailey, I would say no. Young Bucks, Kevin Knight, no. Roderick Strong. Cope, remember Cope? Dustin Rhodes is injured. Josh Alexander is a heel. Bishop Khan's a heel. Tony Leon is a heel. Hook, we've spoken about. Pac is a heel. Roosh is a heel. Nick Wayne is a heel. Orange Cassidy, then, it would be the next one. We've gone through, by the way, 40 wrestlers already.
So there's 4 singles baby faces and
then Darby. Then Darby and Eddie Kingston.
Darby as well. It's slim. It's slim. When you've got 3 male singles titles and you've only got like 5 male babyface wrestlers. And Kenny's not going to be in a title picture, really. Not right now.
No. I'm just wondering if there's anyone you could like turn or elevate that wouldn't feel like a bit of a letdown. No, there isn't any.
No.
They don't exist.
I mean, Jay White's teasing coming back. He's much better as a heel.
Yes,
that's the problem. I don't know where they go with this, but anyway, Hangman won, and presumably we'll
sure did
with Joe, and that led to the main event. What do you make of this? It wasn't full on death match.
No,
but it had a few of those kind of spots in it.
I believe it's because in where were they? Missouri, St. Louis. Where's St. Louis?
Yeah,
sorry. Apparently, there's no blading allowed based on the local commission ruling. Even though that's a mad thing that in 2025 the fake sport of pro wrestling is still governed by any sort of sporting commission. But anyway, that's neither here nor there.
Is that why Luther's never bladed? Probably.
I don't know if that's even true. Maybe he did. Maybe he ran that blade coast to coast, brother, after getting hit with
know about it in those days. They thought it was hard way.
The only light tube he ever took was when it fell off when he was trying to affix it to a ceiling. So it was a strangely bloodless match, which I think Darby was bleeding from the mouth. I think Moxley got a nick on the arm. I was expecting, again, not understanding that was the situation, I was expecting this to be fucking watching it through your hands. Oh my God, what are these guys going to do next? Well, we talked about Moxley, like what would Moxley and Allen let each other do to each other? Like how far do you go then?
Yeah. Sticking sticks under the fingernails. I
mean, that was a spot, granted, that is perfect for this kind of match because it's a perfect encapsulation of the magic of, the illusion of wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think he was legitimately sticking a skewer under Darby's fingernails, but it was sold perfectly.
Yeah,
and you can totally believe it because these guys are so fucking crazy. You don't question for a second. You go, of course that's what they're doing because these guys are insane.
And the taser, I didn't love the taser. I'll be honest.
I did, but they did it in such a way that it wasn't like he didn't put the taser into your man's chest and hold it there for 5 seconds. It was like between the legs. There you
go.
Yeah. I was thinking even, okay, not knowing the limitations they maybe were under, I was thinking, are these guys going to get to a point where Darby just pulls out some like razor blades? Like they fashion the blade out of a razor blade. Is Darby just going to pull out a packet of them and literally just like cut Moxie's head open at some point? Because that's what they do anyway. Spoiler. But are they going to just do those kind of things? That obviously that would be a much more graphic image, right? Something like that. Now, where they did go, we've seen the plastic bags, etc. in the past. They did bring out the aquarium of water, which that was the spot of the match that had my heart pumping. Because water is fucking dangerous. It's actually dangerous. Now, I thought they did go about it in a very safe way, to be fair.
He didn't keep him under for very long.
No.
Looked like a christening, to be honest.
Yes.
When they first got that out...
You thought they were going to put piranhas in it or something.
Yes. Yeah. And honestly, would that have been too silly? I don't know. I thought they were going to do something like that, like put something in the water, not just the water. Because it's not really any worse than the plastic bag thing. Like, I actually think the plastic bag, like, again, people were complaining, like, oh, the kids will be watching this and trying to drown themselves in an aquarium. I don't think they know. But, like, the plastic bag thing is actually much more dangerous. Than the fish tank to me. I did like the ring kind of getting wet and there being a puddle in the middle of the ring.
Yeah.
I've never seen that in wrestling before. That was quite and I guess using water as a weapon is quite ingenious.
Because it can be legitimately very dangerous. There's no way to really fake drowning in water.
Yeah, so that was okay. The story was, Darby just wouldn't quit, and Mox continually got frustrated about that.
Yeah.
Eventually, this led to the entrance of Old Man Sting.
We went from hardcore drowning, skewers under the fingernails to the most wholesome finish in wrestling. Sting came out, and then Darby put Moxley in Scorpion Deathlock, and Moxley couldn't take it.
Yeah.
Darby wasn't putting skewers in Moxley's like eyeballs or anything for the finish, which is what I expect there's going to be something crazy graphic.
Yeah,
it has to be the finish.
Like, I kind of like that as the like to subvert. Oh, it's not going to be something crazy. It's going to be wrestling that wins. But
yes, I did like that as well.
I liked it, but they didn't really. I thought they could have done a bit more to actually build up to that. Like, if Darby had really gone to town on Moxley's knee, like with the baseball bat. So he only hit him once with the bat on
once
the
or twice.
Like, if he'd really taken his leg out and then put him in the sharpshooter. And it was like, oh, okay, Moxley's like, his kneecaps come off. That's why he's going to quit.
I mean, the thing is that Sting's bat does the damage of 1,000 sledgehammers. So,
is it like Thor's hammer?
Very much so.
Only the strongest can wield it. Yeah. So I kind of like the idea of that. And like Darby winning, and I just hope Darby goes from. I kind of wonder where he does go from here, though. Is the only problem. Does he face Hangman? It doesn't look like it. But who else is there for Darby to kind of?
Well, plenty of heels to be feuded with.
There's plenty of heels. Hopefully, it's something right at the top of the card, though. I don't want him to just doing like mid card matches with
Big Bill,
Wheeler Yuta. Yeah. Let's go for a 6 month program with Big Bill.
It does feel like he's now beaten Moxley. I think you have to separate him from the whole Death Rider storyline now. They've been doing that for a year. Is done. Yeah, I mean, in retrospect, the match. I mean, apart from the aquarium, I'm not sure there's much that will kind of you'll think back about or see in video packages or anything. It was Darby beat him. There was one thing I saw that I'm kind of in two minds about, which is the fact, number one, and I'll tell you the kind of pro and con here. This was an I Quit match where they did not do the microphone gimmick.
Yeah.
I will say, number one, I love that in the sense, I mean, some of the WWE I Quit matches where the referee is constantly going, "What do you say, Roman? Do you quit?" And I'm like, can that referee shut up and let the match happen? I've always been a fan where the referee is barely involved and the wrestlers have a microphone between them. And they can do a bit of banter and they can, I didn't mind there not being a microphone at all because I find that it often just fucking kills the flow of the match when they're constantly stopping it. At the same time, to play devil's advocate for the other side of the argument, you didn't get the payoff of the moment of Moxley saying "I quit" because you couldn't really hear it. It was just like,
yeah.
You might as well have just tapped for a submission.
A close up on the face of him going.
We didn't get it. So,
like you did it all in the visual of him. That was great. Why didn't we get something similar to that? Just these little things that they just need to up your game a little bit, Tony.
Yeah. We needed to have that moment, whether it's on the mic or whether, like you say, it's a close up shot or whatever. We didn't see Moxley quitting, really. And then the show went off the air about 1 second later.
Yeah,
Darby won. Goodbye.
Bye.
That was
yeah, decent. Good show. It was a good show, but I need a bit more. I need something to be invested in.
I mean, as far as a B show goes, I thought this was great.
I didn't see it advertised as a B show. Or was that was that mentioned in the terms and conditions?
Certainly the price wasn't B show pricing. For me, your flag. What's the word? From your important, flagship. You got your Double or Nothing, Full Gear, Revolution, All In. What's the other one? Just All Out, and all the other ones in between are for me are like the in your houses.
Yeah,
it's kind of how I look at it. Right? You got your in your house Wrestledream, in your house Dynasty, in your house World's End, and then you've got actual show will be Full Gear, Revolution, etc. So for me, Wrestledream, I got out of the show what I wanted. So I left a very satisfied customer. And Sting, we didn't talk about old man Sting. Sting with the white hair and the beard. Much Riz, much aura.
Yeah.
What other 6'7"?
The vibe.
Yeah.
Vibes and that. It looks great. It's Ric Flair's hair. Ric Flair's hair on Sting's face. That's what I
like.
Hollywood Hogan's beard. It's like WCW.
Well, the beard is more of a latter day Billy Graham, I would say.
Hmm.
Bald head superstar Billy Graham beard. Great look. And I'm surprised his first appearance since All In of 2024, I believe.
Yeah.
So first on-screen appearance in a year and 2 months. So nice little surprise. Love a bit of Sting. Lights going out. Oh, love it. So that was Wrestledream.
That was it. So on to any other wrestling bits and pieces.
Well, we got to talk about big hunky beefcake old Andrade El Bloody Idolo, who we got very excited to see a few weeks ago. Turns out WWE said, well, actually can't have him on TV just yet. And I mean, the news has been kind of all over the place in terms of when we might see him again, depending on whether WWE enforce a 90-day no compete or it's apparently, according to their contracts, up to a year of a no compete, which maybe AEW want to challenge that and say, look, I mean, there's the famous case of Brock Lesnar's no compete, which he successfully levied against and named his finishing move in New Japan The Verdict in reference to that. I can't imagine Andrade literally sits out for a year because of this. I mean, it's a dangerous precedent to set. I mean, look, WWE benefit from movement of talent as well. They brought in a lot of AEW stars who have really, really done very well over there. So do they want to start or continue? If you read it, you could look at for example, the Phoenix situation where AEW didn't exactly let him go easily. But do you want to continue this kind of mudslinging situation where guys are just sitting on the sidelines? I mean, the Brody Lee situation of a few years ago, maybe the most famous or prevalent case. If a guy is ultimately going to leave your company and go to the other company, I get you want to, on both sides, you don't want people to just fucking up and leave to the company. But is there something to be said for, like, if somebody is literally out the door, just fucking let him go? We had that recently with Starks, for example. Oh, eventually they just said, fuck it, go. I don't know. I think ultimately wrestlers themselves ought to, as much as possible, try to renege against that kind of situation. It certainly doesn't do them any favors. And wrestling used to be about the boys, used to be about protecting the boys, Joe. Now we're living in a promoter's world.
We are, even though they've got plenty of leverage. Problem is they're all WWE marks, aren't they? They're like, oh yeah, I went to WWE. I don't care. I don't need a release clause. I'm never going to leave. I'll be there forever. I'll go straight into the Hall of Fame, and then I'll be there till I die. It's like, no, you won't. They'll cut you as soon as you're no longer of value to them, or you ask for slightly too much more money. You're going to be out the door. But I don't. That cannot be enforceable. The year-long clause.
With no anyway, as well.
Well, exactly. It's bollocks. And it's I think it was US only as well, as far as what I saw. So I wonder if you could just go and work in CMLL or anyway. And then when AEW go to Mexico, he can wrestle.
He'll be on the show.
Yeah, he'll still be on the show. We'll see.
Maybe not on TV. Yeah, just a bit of a weird situation where hopefully they get something sorted out. Like, as we said, I think it has benefited both companies to not do this kind of thing, to be honest.
Yeah.
So at the same time, as we said, we had the case with Phoenix going to WWE. The companies, I presume, want to have a little bit of protection over that happening. But you can kind of protect that with your booking. When somebody's contract is coming up, it's your jurisdiction or your decision, your prerogative to use them or not, as we've seen. So, I mean, I don't know. that is more or less all. That's the main wrestling
best
story certainly this week. What about Life Guff?
Life Guff.
What have you been up to?
Went to a wedding yesterday.
Was it a good wedding?
Yeah, it was good. The ceremony was outside, which surprised me because it's now late October in Ireland. Well, it's late October around the whole world, but here it's bloody freezing outside. Yeah. The strange thing was they didn't really have like a microphone or anything for the person who was conducting it. Couldn't hear a bloody word they were saying. Could have been marrying a lot of us. Could have been a mass wedding. Don't know, no idea. So that was the only kind of flaw. But after that, yeah, it was quite good fun. Stayed for a few hours, but yeah, classic kind of classic wedding material. You know, Motown music, dance floor, bit of boogie.
Oh, nice.
And buffet, and and then home at 10 o'clock. So yeah, not so bad. And then also, I heard today starting a new job next week. So.
Lovely stuff.
On Thursday, finally. So I've been searching for a while and enjoying my time off. Let's not pretend I wasn't.
You've earned it.
I've earned a couple of months off, but yeah, back at it next week. So I've got a few more days to get my affairs in order, and then Mr. No Days Off. Back to the grindstone.
What kind of stuff will you be doing?
Similar to what I was doing, kind of SEO, content marketing. It's on the agency side rather than for a particular brand. So yeah, we'll see.
Very good.
We'll see.
Enjoy.
Remote, which is good. So that office gimmick. Yeah. How about yourself?
Well, I know we've had as a running segment. If I look back at the last couple of weeks, certainly, one of us tends to be sick lately, and I've been a bit sick this week. I got the sniffles and I got the cough, and I got that. So I've been on the Lemsips and the flu medicine. Mm-hmm. I would say it's not very serious. When people talk about the fact that men like to overstate the symptoms of a flu. Mm-hmm. I mean, I will come out and say this is not a very serious flu. It's just been a little bit of a and a bit of a blow your nose every couple of minutes, have a bit of a cough. That's about the extent of it. Otherwise, I'm fine. Mm-hmm. Did have a little bit of a moment during the pape though last night. So we're watching the pre-show, flipped over to the pay-per-view, watching the first match, FTR against Jet Speed. Yeah, got the bickies in, got the crisps in. Loving it. And then I noticed on the screen, I said, "Oh, there's a line of pixels going across the screen that's not the correct color."
Oh no!
You might recall this from a couple of years ago. So I bought this television June of 2022. I know this because I was just going through emails where I was seeing my previous correspondence. So I bought this TV only 3 years and 3 months ago. So I've not had it a very long time. This issue already happened where you get a line of... So essentially what happens is you have a line of pixels, I would say about 2/3 up the screen. So 1/3 down from the top. A line of pixels going the entire length of the screen, showing the wrong color. So it's as if it takes the bottom line of pixels on the screen and moves it up to the top. So you have the colors that should be on the bottom of the screen showing 2/3 of the way up. So it's just you have one line going across, very, very thin line, but it's noticeably wrong. This happened, I'd say, about a year after I got the TV. I got it repaired. So a guy came over and replaced the screen of the TV. This was about a year and a half ago, and now it's happened again. So I don't know if the TV I have is just prone to defect, but it's happened again. And now the TV is it's not in warranty anymore. If I'm going to call them up, are they going to come and have to replace the screen again? If the screen has to be replaced again, how much will that cost? Will it make more sense to just buy a new TV? How long can I last just keeping this TV and it not sending me absolutely insane trying to watch things with this problem?
Yeah.
So that's where we are at the moment. It literally just happened last night during the pay-per-view. So I have a few other priorities for this month that I need to take care of. Specifically with the car is due for its annual road readiness test thing. Every year I have about €200 of repairs to do to it, so I'm anticipating there probably will be something like that again this year. So I need to do that first. Take care of one or two things here in the apartment, and then maybe later see what this is. But I'll have a little bit of a TV annoyance, certainly for the short term. Maybe closer to Christmas I can see about replacing it, but I know the TV prices are not too bad these days. We just got a second TV here anyway, which is not in the sitting room, which is the problem. We need one for the sitting room. I think that was only in the 350 range. No,
that was surprising.
Just 350. Just 350. I wipe my arse with 350.
I still think TVs are going to be like $1,000 though. I'm still in that mindset where I'm like, TV, and it's like 300 quid. I'm like, oh,
thankfully they ain't. But that's still 300 quid that I have other things that need doing first, you know. So it's in terms of the list of priorities, it ain't up there, but I am someone who loves a good TV. I watch a lot of movies. I play a lot of video games. I watch a lot of TV shows. It's a little bit annoying. Is the long and short of my week.
That's the life, Guff. So quickly moving on. Few features to get through. Do you want to give us a quick fantasy update? We touched on it a bit.
Yes.
The scores.
So Wrestledream was again won by Barry. Surprise, surprise. He had 1, 2, 3, 4 successful. I mean, this was a show for the successful title defense that we talked about. Barry had Fletcher, Hanger, Statlander, Bandito, all on 10. So Barry got a 44. Only 30 for me, with the caveat of I will be watching very closely come Friday to see if that tag team match brings in some bonus points for me, given that I have Takeshita Okada and Brody King. And 32 for you, Joe, but you also had a strong TV week, so I think you might have won the week. Well, actually, Barry just about wins the week overall. Certainly in the you versus me stakes, you scored 50 for the week against my 34.
Pretty good.
So between us, currently down to 70 points on the dot. I think 7-0. You still have a transfer, of course.
That's what I'm looking at now. I thought I'll wait until after Wrestledream, but I'm just... I don't know. There's no one really
jumping out.
Like, who's there? I mean, I feel like everyone's
the top non-drafted people are Shelton Benjamin is top. Well, of course, with a possible title win coming up shortly. Shibata then is number 2. Strickland, who's on the injured list. Kenny Omega, who wrestles relatively frequently. Hologram. Claudio Castagnoli, of course, who you traded out already. Adam Cole, who's also been on the injured list. Wheeler Yuta, Young Bucks, Kevin Knight, Roddy Strong. So yeah, fortunately the majority of the top hitters are already in. I mean, you could have... you could maybe a Jack Perry. I mean, who's come in who's not quite had a ton of matches just yet. I mean, one thing I'll say is very lucky that nobody pulled the hair trigger on bringing Andrade in the week he debuted.
Yeah.
Because if you get big fat zero.
God, I might have to wait until like the C2 is announced, or maybe the women's tag. Or like it'd probably be, I think it's gonna be Tony and Mina. Maybe winning it.
Mina is of course not.
Mina is available
on anybody's team. I mean, we didn't talk about that for the pay-per-view, of course. There was a Tony Mina segment where they basically all but said, we're a tag team now.
We should do tag team.
Then we'll be happy.
Yeah. I'm going to wait it out. I don't want to rush it out, but my worry is Hobbs is going to lose the belt this week.
I mean, Hobbs is the number 4 ranked person in the company for the year, which is absolutely unbelievable.
I kind of want to get rid of Hobbs, but then I don't want to,
Hobbs is your heavy hitter in your team currently.
Number 1. Bloody hell.
Number 1. He's got 50 points since you brought him in, which is pretty good. for Julia Hart, who since you traded her out, has scored 20 points. So you've got a 30-point positive balance off the back of that trade. So Hobbs doing well for you. I think there's a good chance that Hobbs loses the trios belts this week, but we will see. So current standings are 770 for you, Joe, 840 for me. Barry has broken the 1,000 as I predicted, 1035 for him. And the top 10 after the pay-per-view currently is Takeshita at number 10, Samoa Joe at 9, Mercedes Moné at 8, Will Ospreay continues to kind of tumble down the table. He's at number 7. John Moxley and Okada joined 5th. Powerhouse Hobbs number 4. Still amazed how many points he's accrued, given that he was not drafted by anybody at the start of the year, and is above Moxley, Okada, Ospreay, which is mad. And then the top 3 continues to be Tony Storm, Kyle Fletcher, and Hangman Page. Hangman Page, who I'll remind us all, was a 5th round pick. You and I got through 4 rounds of picks and did not.
Oh, he wasn't flying. I don't think anyone expected this at the start of the year, but yeah. He's
had a crazy good year, 100 C. Yeah. He's approaching the 200-point mark alone, Hangman Page. See how he gets on.
Okay.
I do have an email as well.
Email.
Email is from Revenue. No. I do also have an email from them. That's not for the podcast. It's from Barry, host of the show.
Hey.
Subject, buying or selling. What are you buying? What are you selling? Hi, Paul. It is your pal and co-host, Barry.
Hello.
Who's this guy? I don't recognize him. I have a wee feature of sorts for you boys as we approach the tail end of 2025. This might even be a little precursor to our next draft in January. I'm going to give you some AEW or AEW adjacent talent, and I want you and Joe to tell me if you're buying or selling stock in these folks in 2026. Right. So starting January 1st, do you think their fortunes are going up or down?
Okay.
Interesting. Thanks, B-Man. B-Man. Number 1 on the list is Brody King, who's currently flying high as part of this tag team.
I'm going to sell.
You're going to sell on Brody King? You think he'll be more down?
I think he's flying high now. I think they will lose the belts at some point, and I think he will then get a kind of lukewarm mid-card push, and that'll be that.
Okay.
I think he deserves better, but I just don't have a lot of confidence that he'll get.
Do you think Bandito, upon that team splitting, Bandito is the one who'll get more of the...
He's the one that pinned Okada. You know what I'm saying?
Sure,
he's the one getting the big match. And he is, by all accounts, the one that's, up for
I would agree. It does seem that Brody King is someone who is always on the precipice of something, and it never quite comes along. I mean, this tag team with Brodito is itself kind of an accident in the sense of Buddy Murphy got hurt. And, two guys with nothing to do were kind of put into a tag team, and it's kind of hit off, and it's going very well. But yeah, I'll agree with you on Brody King. Darby Allin.
Buy.
I'm going to buy as well. I know we're always a little bit lukewarm on Darby's prospects of like a world title run. I feel like Tony's gonna give him one at some point.
He's got to get it. I would even have him beat Hangman. Yeah, why not? I know it's babyface, but one idea I had was for Hangman loses to Darby, and then MJF cashes in to beat Darby. And then that puts the heat on MJF for kind of stealing Darby's title reign from him.
Of course, they're not really allowed cash in the classic way anymore, but I get your point.
I don't mean like in the minute, but like, I'm going to fight you next week and take it after a week,
Yeah.
I really, really hope and think Darby will have a bigger year. And he's finally beaten Mox. It feels like he's got that this is his first big win, it feels like, big singles win. I can't think of a win he's had like this bigger.
Yeah.
Maybe since he beat like Cody. No, did he beat Cody? Yeah, of course he beat Cody. Yeah, for the TNT title. Other than that, like what has he had? He lost to Punk. Lost to MJF.
I mean, Darby is like their most beloved babyface at this point.
He is, yeah.
He's like unequivocally over with the crowd.
He is Mr. AEW.
He is. Number 4, Big Bill.
I think he'll be in the what's it called? The frat boys by the middle of next year.
I think Big Bill will be in exactly the same spot as he is this year.
Yeah.
With no movement up or down. So I will not buy or sell. I will abstain. I will I'll keep my money and invest elsewhere. I think Big Bill has a lot of upside. I think he's funny. I think he's, for the size he is, I think he's great. But I mean, he's not exactly fit the model of what AEW pushes.
That is the problem. That is the problem. And you had to get to that level, to get to the top level, you have to be a great worker. That's not a problem with AEW. There's people that are really good, but they're just not really good wrestlers. You know what I mean? It's just the way it is.
Eddie Kingston.
So
I'll buy.
Ooh.
I don't see how Eddie Kingston is less than he is now. I think Eddie Kingston is at the bottom of the trough, and now it's only up from here.
Well, I think he'll stay kind of roughly where he is.
I can't see how he would.
I'm just not feeling confident.
I think he'll have a good little run in the C2, and that will
prove me wrong. I think he'll be the job guy.
I'll rehab him a little bit. He might.
That's my prediction.
I mean, what Mark Briscoe was that a couple of years ago, and I think there's something to be said about the sympathy of taking a few losses in the C2. Mm-hmm. I wouldn't mind. And Eddie Kingston, of course, former
the original winner
of the C2. So I think Eddie will have a good little run, and we'll see him back into that kind of mix. I mean, like I say, this is less of a case of I think he's going to do great stuff, as what he's currently doing is dog shit, and I think it'll be slightly improved. So I'll buy the stock. I might not see a huge return on investment, but I expect it to be in the positive. Harley Cameron. I'm going to buy based on
let's buy. Yeah.
I think the tag team division is going to give some extra scope for characters like Harley Cameron. I don't expect her necessarily to be winning or be involved in the world title or situation or anything like that. But I think
Mercedes trades up.
Once they get the belt out for Mercedes.
Once you've got a lot of the women in the tag, Mercedes is in world, then that does leave TBS open for a Harley. So I should be good. Should be really good at that.
Agreed.
That is kind of the problem we just said, that to get to that top, you have to be like a really good worker. But I think if she's TBS champion, she can do more of a comedy stuff and more kind of entertainment, and not have to the pressure of like, I have to have a great match every time. So I'd love to see her do well. I think she's really good. Very entertaining.
I agree. Mike Bailey.
I'm going to go buy.
Buy for I would think buy for similar reasons as I said with Eddie Kingston.
Oh, wait, you think Mike Bailey's rock bottom?
Oh, I think Mike Bailey is great, but I think where Jet Speed are now, they got a bit of the top flight stink to them.
Oh no!
Bit of the top flight stink. I think they're better, but they don't win a lot, Joe. They don't win a lot,
but they do have really good like matches. That's the thing. That's the difference. I think their matches are a lot more credible than Top Flight.
Well, they're going to start winning some matches then.
Maybe they will. Yeah. I'd like to see have a proper feud with like FTR instead of just kind of one-off matches. Like make it a bit more bit more heated.
Yeah. I like Jet Speed a lot. I like Mike Bailey a lot. Having seen him on the indie scene, I have a great affection for Mike Bailey stuff, but I don't know. It's. I wonder if I would nearly like to see him and Kevin Knight as singles more than a tag team. But Gabe Kidd.
In AEW or just in general? I don't know, because it felt like after the match with Kenny that he was going to be ascending, but then he's kind of just been a goon for the Death Riders. And I don't know what he's doing in New Japan, but nothing major, is it?
I think he just lost the, was he the global champion?
Yeah. I'll probably sell. I feel like he's... Maybe I'll be wrong. Maybe we'll get a big push in New Japan. I'm not really sure.
I might see him and Takesh to have a feud at the top for the title. Yeah, I kind of feel the same as you. I'll sell on Gabe Kidd. Tony Storm.
Bye
on Storm.
Bye. Always bye. She's only going to get better.
Well, I think inevitably she'll be the world champion again.
Greatest women's wrestler of all time. She'll win the tag titles. She'll have a nice reign there. She'll lose those. She'll win the world title again next year.
All in. She can be going for the world title again.
All in. Beat Mercedes.
I think that'd be a good little rehab story or comeback story. She gets I wouldn't have her chance for the world title again until All In. And that to be the story to build her back up. The big.
But you do Mercedes again as the champion. All in.
I mean, that'd be an interesting, because Tony's beaten Mercedes, but as a champion, and now Mercedes is champion, it can be a twist on the story. I'd be into that.
Can we Rock Austin and then Mercedes wins the third one?
There you go. And then last one is Kenny Omega.
So
you gotta sell it, Omega. I'm afraid. I'm
sorry, old boy.
Yeah, I'm more thinking that Gabe Kidd match, rather than it being the oh my god, this guy still got it. I think it might, and this is going to sound really critical and maybe exaggerated, but I mean, I'm talking about it to the level that Omega was, kind of a last hurrah as
his final masterpiece,
best out machine. You know what I mean?
That was his final masterpiece. I think he will still have good I think he still have good matches in him, but not to that
level,
exquisite level. That kind of yeah.
That's it.
Unfortunately,
thank you, Barry.
With regret, sell on Kenny.
Right, that's the email. Thank you for that. We do have a quiz. Joe, you're going solo this week.
Oh, let's go.
We're going to beta test this quiz. The quiz is called Paper Who?
Paper Who?
Paper Who? So the way the quiz works, I've written it as a versus quiz, but Joe, you will be playing versus yourself today. So the way the format works is we have 6 rounds, and for each round there is a wrestler who is the answer. You're trying to find out who is the mystery wrestler, is the point, right? I'm going to give you 5 pay-per-views that this person was on the card.
Okay, so mystery wrestler.
So, for example, if I said to you, this person wrestled on WrestleMania 15, WrestleMania 38, WrestleMania 19, SummerSlam 98, and WWF Rock Bottom. The answer might be, well, I don't know. Well, the answer, well, actually, because it's off the top of my head, Triple H might work for that as well.
Yeah, right.
I was thinking Steve Austin.
Gotcha. Oh, 38, yeah.
38 would be Steve Austin. Now, I will say there's a bit more structure to it than that, because the more shows I give you get to guess one guess per show I give you. The earlier you get it, the more points you get it. But also, the more shows I give you, the more obvious the shows become. So I'm going to start with something very obscure. And by the fifth one will be like the equivalent of WrestleMania 17, Steve Austin being the answer, right? So to use that example I just used, I might, if I was doing Steve Austin, I might start with like a WCW show, a New Japan show. I know I had a brief New Japan, an ECW show, and then maybe an obscure WWF one, and then the last one would be the obvious one. So you're getting progressively more obvious. So if number one is New Japan, I wouldn't necessarily be thinking, right, this is a known New Japan guy.
Tanahashi.
It might be someone who's known elsewhere who had a brief stint in New Japan. That's kind of
Lesnar,
right?
There we go. Yeah.
So we have 6 rounds. Do you want to pick rounds? Do you want to pick number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or 6 to start with?
4.
4. Okay. So, and again, you can guess for each show I give you, and however early you get it, you get progressively more points. Number 1 is CMLL / New Japan Fantastica Mania 2025.
Fantastica Mania would have been on that. I'll guess Mercedes Moné.
He's got it in 1. He's got it in 1. Mercedes is correct. So you get 5 points for that one. I mean, number 2 would have been New Japan Pro Wrestling Sakura Genesis 2023.
Okay.
WWE Survivor Series 2017, AEW Revolution 2025, and then the 1 point answer would have been NXT TakeOver Brooklyn.
Right, gotcha.
So that's your test. Yeah. See how it goes. So you got 5 points for Mercedes. That's number 4. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 5 or 6.
1.
1. Okay, we're going to start off with, this might be a tougher one. Good, the Mercedes was going to start because you kind of understand the idea. Show number 1, Ring of Honor Supercard of Honor 2022.
Ring of Honor Supercard of Honor 2022. Danhausen.
It's not Danhausen. So for 4 points, WWE Worlds Collide 2020.
Worlds Collide 2020.
Yeah. Ring of Honor Supercard of Honor 2022 and WWE Worlds Collide 2020.
I don't even know what that would be, Worlds Collide 2020. What was that? Let's say Adam Cole.
It's a good guess. It's not Adam Cole. Number 3, Lucha Underground Ultima Lucha 3.
Is it Athena?
It's not Athena.
Shit.
Number 4, AEW Double or Nothing 2022. So the thing is, even though I'm giving them out of chronological order, you can kind of piece together a career path as you get these shows given to progressively.
Yeah, the Ring of Honor one's the one that's tricky. I'm trying to remember, because was that before Tony bought it or afterwards? That's the tricky bit. I think that's
so
before.
Okay.
I think it's
Ring of Honor Supercard of Honor 2022, WWE Worlds Collide 2020, Lucha Underground Ultima Lucha Trace, I should say, and AEW Double or Nothing 2022.
2022. So, what was 2022? We did this last week, the main events of Double or Nothing, and I've already forgotten. Hangman Punk was 2021. 2022. Punk gone by that point. Mox. Fuck knows.
You got one show still to come, so if you want to...
Let me just have a guess here. The Ring of Honor one's throwing me off. That's a bit... What? Sorry, Lucha Underground. What was the
Double or Nothing 2022 and Worlds Collide? Lucha Underground was Ultima Lucha Trace, which I think would have been 2017.
Pentagon
is not Pentagon. Is a good guess. It's not Pentagon. And the fifth and final one is AEW All In 2024.
All In 2024. Right. Well, let's go through the whole show. Yeah, the ladder match. God, there's a lot of people on this show. It's going to be Zach.
But people who were in Lucha Underground, WWE, and made an appearance, and in AEW since 2022, and made an appearance at that Ring of Honor show. And again, keeping in mind that the idea is that the later shows I give you are meant to be more obvious. So it's not necessarily going to be someone who is in a 10-person ladder match, because the idea is I'm trying to help you to say, look,
sure,
all in 2024, so you should know by that who it is.
Yeah, I get with Double or Nothing, that would be helpful if I remembered any of the matches on the card. That's the problem. But all in 2024, okay, so you had Brian Swerve, so it wouldn't have been them. Would it be Swerve? No, Swerve wouldn't have been on Ring of Honor. What do you think? Was Swerve Strickland in Ring of Honor 2022? Surely not. Surely not. Who else do we have? MJF, Will Ospreay. Wouldn't be them. Britt Baker versus Mercedes. Not them. Is it Swerve?
Swerve Strickland's correct for one.
Oh man, that Ring of Honor one.
Swerve Strickland defeated Alex Zane in the opener of Supercard of Honor 2020.
That is mental. 3 years ago, and he was opening Ring of Honor.
Yeah, I think that was the final event before the completion of the sale.
Right.
So this was April 2022. So I think Swerve would have maybe just signed with AEW back then. So Swerve Strickland was correct. He was, of course, the Lucha Underground. This ChairShot. Okay, so 1 point on that one. 2, 3, 5, 6.
2.
2. Okay, we'll start with TNA Against All Odds 2010.
Ken Anderson.
Good guess. It's not Ken Anderson. ECW CyberSlam 1996. So you've already got a 14-year swing.
It's got to be like Taz had retired by then. Sabu?
Very good guess. It's not Sabu. WCW Spring Stampede 1994.
4. Jerry Lynn?
It's not Jerry Lynn. It's a good guess.
Hell.
Number 4, WWF SummerSlam 1997. This is an interesting one because that TNA one is so far ahead. You go, what?
Was he at 97? I'm thinking 96.
TNA Against All Odds 2010. ECW CyberSlam 96. WCW Spring Stampede 94. And WWF SummerSlam 97.
I'm thinking like could be someone big.
Mm-hmm.
Was funny there? So I'm kind of thinking like Mick Foley, because he wasn't in TNA in 2010, or was he? My timelines on these are very shaky. What'd you say? SummerSlam 97.
Yeah.
I was thinking Shane Douglas as well, but I don't think he's still in WWF in 97. Do I go Mankind? I got Mick Foley. Thanks so much.
It is Mick Foley.
Yeah.
That's very good. Mick Foley. And then King of the Ring 1998 would have been the
Of course.
Hell in the Said. Okay, we got 3 left. You got number 3, number 5, and number 6.
Let's go 5.
5. We'll start with WWF No Way Out 2001.
No Way Out 2001. Scott Hall.
No, that would have been 2000 and
Oh, it's 2002, wasn't it? Shit.
2 or 3, I think you're thinking of. 2002. That would have been, yeah.
That's 2002, yeah.
It's not Scott Hall, of course. WWE Fastlane 2017.
So when No Way Out would have been, that was still the February pay-per-view. So you're talking pre-X14. Who's still wrestling? 16 years later. And Big Show.
It is the Big Show.
Is it?
Yes, Paul White. Yeah, 4 parts.
Big nasty bastard.
You would have then had AEW All Out 2021 as the third one. WCW NWO Road Wild 98. And then closing out with WrestleMania 2000. Like man in every corner. I mean, there's on him and Kane would have been around that long as well. Don't know who else would have been still around. Okay, 2 last ones. We've got number 3 and number 6.
Number 3.
Number 3. Okay, we'll open with Ring of Honor Final Battle 2017.
Final Battle 2017. Let's go for Adam Cole again.
It's not Adam Cole. We got TNA Against All Odds 2012.
Against All Odds. Jay Lethal.
It's not Jay Lethal. ECW Heatwave 99.
Oh, God. This is some old fart. Who was wrestling in Ring of Honor and ECW 18 years apart? Is this Jerry Lynn?
It's not Jerry Lynn.
It's got to be Jerry Lynn one day.
No. Number 4.
Jerry Lynn.
TNA Bound for Glory 2025.
Bubba Ray Dudley.
It is Bubba Ray Dudley. 2 points. Very good. Last one would have been SummerSlam 2000. The original TLC.
Makes sense.
Bubba Dudley, Ring of Honor, Final Battle, of course. TNA Against All Odds as Bully Ray. ECW, TNA, just this last week. Do you see the clip of him, the finish of that match, by the way?
Yeah.
Where he was all sad, like, oh my God.
Oh my God.
Throw me through this table, brother.
Oh, please, brother. I can't go anymore. Really?
Then Matt Hardy was like, this match was fucking
this was a work of art. You don't get it. This was a shit work of art.
Okay, last one.
He also said, the reason we sold out the building was for that match. Okay. Fuck you, the rest of the roster.
Yeah, what a weird egotism. Yeah, don't worry about all the other matches. It was us, brother. It was old lads, our fellas. Final one then. I was going to say the wrestler's name. That's not how this quiz works. We open with New Japan Pro Wrestling Wrestle Kingdom 11.
Well, 11, that was a while back.
That was in 2017.
Kazuchika Okada.
It's not Okada, I'm afraid. NXT TakeOver Brooklyn 4. Which I think would have been in 2019. I'll double check that for you now. 2018, excuse me.
Shinsuke Nakarama.
Oh, it's not, I'm afraid. Yes. WWE Money in the Bank 2023.
Money in the Bank 2023.
So New Japan, then TakeOver Brooklyn 4, then Money in the Bank 2023. So somebody who, in that order, that kind of career path.
Trying to think, so many of those New Japan guys ended up in AEW. Trying to think of any that went the WWE route. I'm blanking. New Japan to NXT to Money in the Bank. No, would it be him? It's not AJ, is it? No, it's not AJ. He left 2016. Shit.
Yeah,
AJ.
It's not AJ. He didn't work at NXT, of course, either. Number 4, Lucha Underground. Ultima Lucha Uno.
Uno. Jeff Cobb.
Not Jeff Cobb, I'm afraid. And for 1 point, AEW Wrestledream 2025.
Okay, well, it's not Darby Allin. It's not John Moxley. It's not Samoa Joe.
Someone who's worked Lucha Underground, NXT, WWE, New Japan, and was on last night's show.
It's not Hangman Page. It's not Mina. It's not Mercedes, because we already had Mercedes.
We've had Mercedes already.
It's not Oh no, Tony Storm wouldn't have been in Lucha Underground or
No.
Japan. I'm gonna have to go through everyone. Who else wrestled last night? Takeshita, Okada, Bandido, Brody King. Who would have been in WWE that was on my show last night?
Well, I'll remind you again. The later the options I give you, the more obvious. So you're looking at best known Lucha Underground and AEW, with also a stint in WWE. Worked a New Japan show. Maybe not necessarily known for being a New Japan guy.
No. Of course, it's Ricochet.
Ricochet is correct for 1 point. Very good. Okay, so a total score for you, Joe, against yourself of 15 points.
I mean, that is a great result for me and me.
You have won. You have won the quiz this week. So I think there's some usability of that one there.
I think that's a good one. I think it's my terrible knowledge of any wrestling cards after 2001. That's the problem, unless it's a recent AEW.
Yeah, that's why we tried to throw in some. I mean, how far back did we go? What was the earliest show in here? 94, I think it was.
Yeah.
Spring Stampede 94, I think was the oldest one we went to. But yeah, tried to have a mix of different people of different eras without it going back to like. Because one thing that I set myself was no, like, TV shows. It has to be pay-per-views, and no indie shows, or like I had to be
proper pay-per-view.
So you're kind of stuck within the modern era to an extent. Okay, we've just got some movies and TV to cover, and then we'll get out of here. 2 movies for me, both really good. So 2 recommendations. First one is Robert Zemeckis' Contact, from all the way back in 1997.
Oh, yeah.
Jodie Foster and a very young Matthew McConaughey. James Woods in there as well. Really good. Sort of a precursor to your Interstellars and your Arrivals, in that sort of a sci-fi movie that doesn't feel incredibly stupid. A little bit of smartness to it.
It's quite a smart movie. It's not. I kind of remembered it as like an alien, something like someone meets an alien or something, but it's actually a lot more kind of psychological or emotional.
Yeah. Deep, it's a little bit on the long side. It's about 2:36 or something. It's about 2.5 hours, which is a lot. But again, the kind of movie that I don't want to say doesn't get made anymore. Definitely the kind of movie you don't see. I mean, I don't call this a blockbuster, but kind of a mainstream sci-fi type movie that you don't see anymore. I thought Jodie Foster was really, really great in it. I think for 1997, I thought the effects were also very decent. And yeah, ultimately, I liked where it went. It kind of had that kind of even though it was very high concept sci-fi, I think it had a kind of a grounded realism to it that kind of I very much enjoyed as well, because it kind of deals with they get the message back from space, and they decipher in that instructions to build this. They don't even know what it is yet. Is it a time traveling thing? What is this fucking thing? And I just liked the kind of, again, not even like documentary feel, but grounded enough that this didn't feel like, you watch your Kong versus Godzilla's and they're flying magic cars to the center of the earth. This is we've got to a point where this is too dumb and too unbelievable. Contact stays very firmly within the parameters of realistic sci-fi that has a bit of a brain to it. So very, very much enjoyed that. Give it a big old recommendation. The other one is on the Halloween tick, a Korean horror called The Wailing, also on the longer side, about 2.5 hours. This is very enjoyable, very enjoyable. So it's about a town that starts to become overtaken by some sort of demonic. It's not immediately obvious what's happening, but people are starting to die in mysterious circumstances. People are starting to act out in crazy, weird circumstances. And so it does become apparent that there's some sort of spiritual impact on the town that's causing people to act erratically and commit these murders and so on. And so it is almost a kind of movie that has elements of Exorcist and The Ring, because I would say as well, there's like The Ring, there's parts of it that are more thriller than horror at points, but also has a very smart twist towards the end that I thought was really, really satisfying and really good. There's one scene around the halfway mark that was when I watch a movie that I'm really enjoying, then it has one of them scenes that kind of pushes a movie into a higher score grade. I always use, for example, you're watching Get Out, you say this movie's very good, and then you have the scene with the cup and your man going into the sunken place, whatever it's called. You go, this scene's fucking great. This is elevating the movie for me. The Wailing has one of those scenes. So the main character plays like this bumbling police officer, and the first half of the movie, or certainly the first half hour, almost has like a lot of wacky slapstick comedy to it. That the film then takes a tonal shift later on and kind of gets very serious and very spooky. But his daughter is unwell, and so they're thinking, okay, she's got some sort of, she's acting out. She's not acting as she normally is. She's normally this sweet girl. Now she's all withdrawn and strange. So they're thinking, okay, we got to get the shaman in to fix this. And so you have this scene where you have the shaman doing this ritual, and it's drums are pounding and he's dancing around, and it's cutting back and forth between him and this Japanese man who's recently come into town, who people suspect of being the cause of all this. And at the same time as that ritual's happening, he's in this remote cabin doing his own ritual with like dead crows hanging from the ceiling, and he's banging a drum. And it's going back and forth between those two. And this week, as I noticed, my microphone setting has changed for some reason. I'm hopefully back now. Yeah. Two top movies. So if you are in the mood for some clever sci-fi, check out Contact if you haven't seen it already. I assume most people have at this stage. And if you're interested in a different kind of Halloween movie, one that is not very noise and jump scare reliant, but are looking for something maybe a bit more out there, The Wailing is really great.
Very nice.
And then I have 2 TV reviews as well. South Park may have crossed finally into the realm of the Rick and Mortys and the Simpsons and the American Dads of the world, where I think, have I had enough of this now?
Mm.
Not necessarily that I think the show is horrible or unwatchable, but I wonder sometimes, even like Rick and Morty, I was still enjoying them for parts of the last season I watched. But there is a point where I reach with some of these shows where I go, is the joy I get from watching these shows worth the effort that I go through to actually watch them? I don't know if South Park is holding up its end of the bargain anymore necessarily. I mean, I thought this episode is really not great. Luckily, I was talking to one of my friends who's a school teacher in the week, who was explaining the 6-7 phenomenon to me.
Right.
This is a thing that kids apparently say now. 6-7. 6. I had never heard of this until he said it. And then 2 days later, there's a South Park episode about it. So thank God he explained it to me. I would have had no idea what was going on. The problem is that the show itself seemed to... I mean, I don't know whether this was done with a huge amount of tongue-in-cheek and irony. But a lot of the jokes in the show itself seemed to be 6-7. I was like, what am I watching here? Just see... I don't know. I think South Park might be soon for the landfill of, like I said, some of those others, The Simpsons and the like shows that I'm watching this out of habit as opposed to watching it because I want to watch it. You know? And sometimes with those shows, you just got to cut bait. Eventually, you just got to cut bait. But thankfully, the final show of the week to talk about is the new Tim Robinson show, The Chair Company. You a Tim Robinson guy, Joe? I can't remember.
Not really. I do like his good sketches. He's I
think I should leave.
Yeah. When I tried to watch it, I didn't. Kind of like a lot of sketch shows. You know, they have the few really good ones, and then the rest is forgettable.
Well,
so I was into it.
Let me tell you, when I started watching that show, how many seasons have they done of it now? 2 or 3? 3 seasons, I think. I felt exactly the same way when I was certainly the first season and maybe even the second season. I was like, people are like, oh my God, this fucking show, this guy's so funny, it's so great. I was like, it's okay, some of it's funny, some of it's I don't get. And then I think when I watched the third season of I Think You Should Leave, I think that was the one that kind of clicked for me, and I thought that was the best of the 3 seasons. He's got a new show out now anyway. So he made that film Friendship as well, which I thought was pretty good. I didn't love it, but I thought it was pretty good. So this is written by Tim Robinson and the guy he wrote I Think You Should Leave with, and directed by the guy who directed Friendship. So it's sort of them all coming together finally. So the first episode aired last week. I think it is by far the best thing he's ever done. It has one of my favorite little things. Now, it is not necessarily like Twin Peaks, but it's that mix of almost comedy with a weird mystery. Now, it is very funny. So it is like one of those skits that hits and is good for, a 30-minute comedy mystery show, I guess. So the show is about he works in this kind of office environment. I forget what they make. They're like a company that does like land developments or something. And so he's finally getting the big promotion, and they're doing the big speech to say that, hey, this guy, I think his character's name's like Ned or something. Ned is taking over the big Hilltop project or whatever it's called, right? And they're doing that on a little stage in front of the rest of the company's employees. And as he goes to sit down on the chair on the stage, the chair like explodes underneath him and he falls over. And so he's like, he thinks he's like a laughing stock of the company and da. And so he gets this vendetta and gets stuck in his mind that he needs to reach out to the chair company and find out kind of what the fault was with the chair and can prevent anyone else from getting hurt. And so this is a rabbit hole that we haven't found out much about yet, but he starts getting down the rabbit hole of the chair company. Their email address doesn't work. the phone number he calls is some contracting company who won't give him any information about the chair company. And so he's digging and it goes in that direction. So there's a mystery element, which is great. I love a good mystery. But also it's hilarious. Also his whole point about the chair and the chair company is like, who cares? That chair broke. But he's like obsessed about it. He like gets so obsessed that it's like his life is suffering because he's so obsessed with his work is suffering because he's so obsessed with his chair. So I loved it. I loved the first episode. I can't wait for more of it tomorrow. Again, as far as Tim Robinson goes, I was kind of on the same level as you in terms of certainly the first 2 seasons. I think you should leave. They're okay, but this is a banger. You got to get on. You got to get on the chair company bandwagon before. I don't know if things are going to get spoiled. There's only 1 episode out so far, so people have time to catch up. It's top. It's top-notch stuff. It's wonderful. So check it out.
I will check it out. Nice.
I now I feel obsessed. Now I need to know what this chair company is about. What's the deal?
What's the mission?
I won't say anything more than that, but it's very, very funny. There's a character with a wheelbarrow, like a minor character, but that has really the element of those skits where there's something that's so seemingly unimportant, but is so funny. God, I love it. That's it. That's all we have.
Well, that is going to wrap it up for the week. Plenty of chat there, wrestling, TV, and our usual features. We'll be back next week, hopefully with Barry in tow.
Yep.
As the captain. And thanks for listening, everyone. And you can check us out. Of course, don't forget to subscribe on the Spotify, whatever your little podcast platform is that they have nowadays. Probably Apple as well. Apple, Spotify. The rest have closed down, to be honest. It's mainly those two. Or you can just like right click and save an MP3 probably, if you're still up doing that sort of thing.
I enable that on every episode I upload. So you can go to ChairShotPodcast.com. You can right click, download, save as, and it has all the metadata and everything.
Add it to your archive for when Spotify and Apple, disappear.
It's all there, baby. It's all
there for free. And follow us on Blue Sky. Don't post much, but you might get something occasionally. And don't forget to send us an email. If you've got something to say, if you've got a question, if you want to get something off your chest, let us know. And we will read it out on the show. But for me, it's thank you very much. And see you next week. And for Paul,
I'll say the same.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.